Alright guys, looks like we got another Terran versus Protoss against a dude in the Flip Side Academy. As you guys just saw, he's got the Stitches portrait.
Not enough minerals.
So we'll see what exactly it is he wants to do. If he wants to get all up in my business, if he wants to try to kill me. You had some good games today. That feeling Nathanius is getting his
Not enough minerals.
Crikey! I got back my mojo, baby, yeah! Oh yeah, baby, yeah! Feels good, man. Feels John Goodman. Feels Saul Goodman. It's just a different form of banjo. Legit banjo talk? I don't really know much about banjo musicians. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. So I've decided to improve the process of the reruns by recording each game individually so that I don't even stream the downtime between games. Theoretically, most of the people that leave my stream do it in between games. So if I just make sure that there's no in between game time, my reruns could, in theory, have better viewer retention between games than my actual normal stream. Because in my normal stream, sometimes you gotta use the bathroom, sometimes you gotta, I don't know, sometimes you gotta do something. You never know, really. Sometimes you gotta eat, which is boring. But at least when I stream like this, it's kind of like, yeah, I can pretty much do this however I want. It's not too much of a problem, which to me is the most important thing. So I sent an SCV out to scout. I haven't actually been SCV scouting at all, really, lately. It's pretty much entirely been, what's it called? Just blind play. Because I haven't really been playing very well, so I don't feel scouting matters. It's more important that I just macro. Some people may not understand why. You know, they'd be like, Nate, why haven't you been SCV scouting? Isn't that just a bad thing to do? But you could also say, isn't floating resources bad? But, you know, maybe you're waiting to build something, you know? Why would I spend, you know, 500 resources that I have in the bank when I'm about to finish my command center and I'm going to need to start an orbital and I'm going to need to get, you know, a bunch of other yada, 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 yada. Anyway, you guys understand my point. At least those of you with functioning prefrontal cortexes. So there's always like a reason why you do or don't do something in a particular way. Feels... the timings are really off here for me. And it's not that my build's bad or his build is great, or his build's bad and my build's great. Or that his build is great and my build's bad. It's more like I'm in a kind of an awkward spot where, because I went command center first, normally you're like, okay, my opponent has this and I have this, so I know this. But I rarely go command center first unless I'm doing this weird mech strategy. So it's more like, my opponent has this and I have this. I don't know what this means. Let's send the SCV back. I'm sorry, little Ron Jeremy. You did! You did! So he's gonna die a horrible, painful death. That's okay, though. It's for the good of this sector. No! Okay, he built an adept. Am I supposed to be surprised, shocked?
Not enough.
You're loving the increased commentary? Yeah, well. That's right, get out of my house! We must protect this house! Oof! Sponsored by Under Armour. Most people probably don't actually know that that catchphrase is an Under Armour tag. Yeah. So I'm assuming the Oracle's about to arrive. If he's pressuring me this much. Life's a dance, you learn as you go.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
The real question is, does he know yet? And I don't just mean does he know. I mean, does he know? You know?
Additional supply depots required.
I love doing this though. Double factory Cyclone with the reactored barracks. And some of you may think to yourselves, Nathanius, why? Why double factory Cyclone open? Why not open with Hellions or a tank? Well, double Cyclone can deal with the weaknesses of a tank, like Void Ray, Warp Prism, and obviously one Cyclone can kind of do that with the mag field accelerator. But the reason why you go two is because one Cyclone also can't deal with Blink, which is obviously the greatest weakness of a Terran player who is going for a mechanical style. It's very hard to stop that. So it looks like he's probably getting, what, a Warp Prism, maybe Blink or Resonating Glaives. Honestly, I'm not super concerned. The entire gist of my build is that I have access, I have the ability to move around a lot. That's why I didn't get tanks. That's why I'm building Cyclones. So in case you were wondering, Nate, why are you building Cyclones and not tanks? Now you understand, or at least hopefully I've made myself somewhat clear on that regard. Also, Mech, it's always been about that gas. It's about that gas. I have a little bit of gas. The minerals are more than anything a tool for me to cover my ass with missile turrets, supply depot walls that aren't necessarily blocking, that aren't really for supply, they're just to block. So really when you're playing Mech, the biggest weakness that you're going to be facing 99% of the time is just going to be either Blink Stalker attacks or Warp Prisms. That's pretty much it. So you can see, like, does this Blink Stalker thing, but Cyclones can actually trade pretty well against them. We killed a few Stalkers. Make no mistake, that wasn't that bad for us because we have a reasonable number of Cyclones. That's what the double factory Cyclone is for. Like, we could have maybe had some Hellions out by now, but that ain't gonna do what we need to do, you know. They see it ain't be like it is, but it do, and that's a really, really big distinction. It also tells us, hey, our opponent has Blink. Now siege tanks alone should be more than enough to deal with this. I actually do need to get a starport though. The only reason I need a starport is in case he tries to catch me off guard with something really, really funky. And that, I mean, it's NA ladder, right? So we don't expect our opponents to do things that make sense, guys. It's a grave mistake that you can make. See, that's fine, because if he wants to do that, I'll just build 2 more turrets. As long as I know where he wants to attack me, I'm not overly concerned. I will say, I actually do have a lot more gas than minerals, which means I'm probably building too many missile turrets or Hellions. One of the two. I want to say I'm building too many Hellions. So, if you want my personal, honest opinion on the matter, I don't think Hellions are very good at all. I think that if Mech is ever going to be viable, or if Blizzard ever decides they want Mech to be viable, one of the first things that they're going to have to do is make some serious tweaks to the Hellion. Because at the moment, as it is, it's not really that heavy of a hitter against a lot of stuff. So I'm going to try to catch this Warp Prism.
Additional supply depots required.
I don't know if I'm going to get it. I'm going to try. Nice. So that was... What's he got? Colossus? Really? Does he know that... You guys know this? Cyclones actually deal double damage to Colossus. So that's quite good for me. The damage output of the Colossus could end up being a problem. So... we can compensate for that by just getting a few more tanks. Actually, no. Let's just get Liberators.
Not enough minerals. Not enough.
I think my army can beat this. Now he's getting the Stargates. Now would be the best time to attack. Now is a moment where he has an army that's pretty flimsy. Yeah. Now is actually the best time to attack before he can make before he can make a switch into air is always going to be the best time to strike. So we gotta try.
Yes, sir. Incoming orders. Lisa, reporting for action.
field depleted. Upgrade complete.
So Cyclones do double damage to Colossus, as you guys can see. Oh, he's already got Tempests out. Alright, alright.
All hands to battle station.
Not enough.
Wow, okay, he had a couple other Stargates somewhere that I didn't see. He had a few more Stargates I didn't know about.
Complete.
That's fine. It's not the end of the world. Certainly hurts us. Jesus. Alright.
Not enough energy. Not enough minerals.
I mean, I can still max out really fast, as you guys can see. Cyclones are just really good at that. It's one of the only things about them costing more supply that actually, weirdly enough, makes you feel like it was a buff. Because you're like, oh, I just max out so fast now. Like this bunker of Marines, that's a Cyclone.
Base is under attack. Not enough energy.
Transformation system.
Not enough energy.
Made.
Commander, full speed.
Mineral field depleted.
Ah, cooldown.
Mineral field depleted.
I needed more starports. I thought I could handle this with just Cyclones. I was wrong.
Upgrade complete.
We were wrong, boys. It doesn't even have any bases here. Ah, rip. Well, I think if I had invested a little more into the Vikings, I actually think I had this game in the bag. It's pretty sick to think about that, actually. Great game, though. This is one of those games where I talk about learning and being able to figure out different ways that you can handle certain armies that your opponent can throw against you. So, feels good, man. So definitely an interesting game. But yeah, thanks for tuning in.